EC3PA students, Business 101, Fall 2022. Welcome back. I'm Catherine Robertson, your instructor here for the Business 101 class. So let's do a quick recap of week one. Hopefully you were finding all the materials okay and you're able to get your discussion in, talk a little about yourself, review some of the other students in the class. We do have 12 students in our Business 101 class this semester. And so you're able to review a few of those, get your intro up, pick a company, right? So the idea that, which we will move a little bit further with, I'm going to work on the week 3. We will talk about the project. You'll have enough information kind of in your arsenal from our text, right? And from your knowledge to hopefully start writing your paper there. So I will post that project in week 3. That will be next week. And so for now, we're going to talk about week 1 recap and then what's going to be expected of you for week 2. So a recap of week 1, you had your discussion post. You had your week 1 video that introduced the book, talked about the syllabus, make sure you understand the syllabus, make sure you're able to access the PDF of the text. And in week 1, we also looked at 2 different chapters, chapter 1 and 2, the readings from the text, the PowerPoint posted online. If you're having issues with PowerPoint, let me know. If you click on the PowerPoint link itself, right, where it says BUSN/PPT or however the PowerPoint is set up, oftentimes what will happen is it will load and there will be a little square down in the bottom left hand of your screen that will say that download. And in order for you to view that download, you're going to have to click on that viewing spot. The other thing is if you click on the 3 little dots to the right, you can click on download, right? And it should download it. If you click on the arrows, it just moves it around and is confusing. I don't know if you have arrows that show up on yours, but the 3 little dots, you can download it from there, but it's not going to pop up automatically. It's going to be in your downloads, right? And if you're having trouble viewing it, same if you click on the actual link part of it. Those things, they don't typically bring it right up. Sometimes they do. It depends. We've been having a few issues. So also the Word docs that are your homework, you can write right on those and send those to me. Many of you have already done that, right? A few of you have done other things, but send it to my email. Remember, crobertson@ec3pa.org. If you're having any issues with week 1's items, please reach out to me and we'll figure out a plan, right? The discussion board in week 1 was your intro and then also a company of your choosing. And I didn't get any emails saying you had difficulty picking a company. So you must be okay with picking a company, right? And a company that you have interest in. One thing we'll also tell you is that as, intro students, this is one of your first classes you're probably taking here at EC3PA. Pick a company, and once you start working with a company and doing different things with a company, you can use that company in different classes to do projects, right? And you get to know the kind of company and where they're at, and you don't have to invent the wheel each time. One of the companies I used when I was working on my master's that I studied a lot was Starbucks. And so I really got to know a lot about Starbucks because I used it for multiple classes, whether it was an accounting class or it was a microeconomics class or it was, another business class that I was taking. So anyway, pick a company there. You seem to be doing well. Now, moving on to chapter 2. In chapter 2, week 2. All right, so let's jump into week 2. Week 2 from your text and for our class. There are a few things for week 2. We do not have a discussion in week 2. I will look through all of your discussions from week 1 and make sure that you all chose companies that are going to be easy, right? This is a short class. You can't have a company that is going to be very difficult for you to find information on, right? You want a company that's readily available and has a lot of info out there for you. It's easy to work with. All right, so for week 2, which is due next Monday, and I realize next Monday is actually a holiday, so if anyone has any difficulties having items in by 11:59 p.m. next Monday, let me know, right? I do realize it is a holiday, but we will have new material up on 9/6, which is next Tuesday, so make sure that you're staying on track. Again, always reach out to me if you need anything. Okay, so in week 2, there are 2 different chapters that we are going to be looking at. Chapter 3 from the text And so each chapter that we talk about in this Business 10 text really is part of, the entire business degree. And so when we talk about, economics, like we did in chapter 2, when we talk about different items, human resources, accounting, all of the different areas that you might encounter within your business degree, within the business world, really. So for this week, still under that first part, the business environment, we're going to look at the world marketplace, business without borders, right? So now, versus 100 years ago, and even more pervasive now in the last 20 years with the rise of the internet, we're all interconnected with trade, with communication, all of those items. So looking at chapter 3 starts to talk about how that world marketplace affects us both positively and negatively. So that's chapter 3. And then chapter 4 is business ethics and social responsibility. And when you're looking at, there's a whole host of things out there relating to business ethics, right? And so when we're looking at chapter 4 and you're reading chapter 4 and then reviewing the PowerPoint for chapter 4, just be thinking about, how does that work, especially in our economic system? And so I do have a video up there for you. It is a little bit longer, but it's a wonderful video. It's a TED Talk. It's called, Is Business Ethics an Oxymoron? Or can it happen, right? Can business and ethics go hand in hand? And so it's an interesting video that has you think about, in our plight for capitalism and in our plight for trying to save money as businesses, right? Do we then cut corners in ways that, can we still be ethical and also very efficient, right? And so take a look at that video and see what you think about that. Is business ethics an oxymoron? That link is also under week 2. So under week 2, you have your video link that ties in with chapter 4. You have readings for chapter 3 and 4. So make sure you do those from the text, and then review the PowerPoints for chapter 3 and 4. And then you have homework questions. They are separate documents this week. So there's a chapter 3 homework that will look similar to all the homeworks are similar, right? They tie into the textbook and key points from the different chapters. So there's 2 separate, you can send them to me in one email, right? They're both Word documents, chapter 3 and chapter 4 homework. And so make sure you complete both of those. Watch the video, do the readings, do the PowerPoint. Those are your assignments for week 2. So there is no discussion for week 2. There is one extra video for you to view, 2 chapters to read, 2 chapters worth of homework. So I hope you are enjoying, some summertime here still. I will send email reminders out later in the week, just checking in on everyone and making sure that you are all moving forward. I'm so happy to have you here. I will talk to you soon.